Okay, I'm finally getting to this, y'all. I'm finally getting to this self-titled Mgmt album. This is their third studio album, and it's the only one I haven't listened to. Actually, I haven't listened to all of Congratulations, but I've listened to the vast majority of it to the point that I wouldn't do a reaction to it. But I kind of want to listen to this. I do, especially too, because it seems like, especially when I was reacting to Loss of Life, that people are suggesting that, no, this album's really good and, you know, the critics are wrong. So I want to know, like, are the critics wrong? I have to make that decision for myself. So here we are. I want to see what the vibe is. Let's go.
Sometimes the windows combine with the seams in a way that twitches on. Pick at the place where the spirit was slain.
That's a fine time to dine. Divine who's circling, feeding the cards to the midwives. Love those alien days. Ooh, the alien days. Must have skipped the ship and joined the team for a ride. 1 month crawling, next year blurring, decades in the drain. Monograms on the brain. Decide what's working and what's moved on to the last phase. When the peels are down, it feels like traveling in style. You don't need wings to have it. 40-ton stones for a mile. Find a minute ways it could be plenty worse. It's a blessing, but it's also a curse. How to catch a feeling and when to let it go. How far the skinny, but when the light is new, the sky shows trembling cartoons. You don't need smoke to cover most of the world in the gloom. If it looks like we could lose, if it looks like we could lose.
It's chill. I kind of like this song. That drum on here is very nice. It's just very laid back, neo-psychedelia music. I can respect that. Let's get into the lyrics here. I'm not really sure what to think. So we have like some kid or someone singing this alongside. Sometimes the windows combine with the seams in a way that twitch on a peak at the place where the spirit was slain. Hey, one foot leads to another. Nights for sleep, blue curtains cover. Sequins in the eyes. That's a fine time to divine who's circling, feeding the cards to the midwives. Who love those alien days, the non-stop alien days, the alien days. Yeah, I agree with this. Right, and I may be suggesting that this is sort of the way when you fall asleep too, maybe you can sort of wake up from, that's probably not for everyone, but must have skipped the ship and joined the team for a ride. A couple hours to learn the controls and commander both my eyes. Ah, okay. Must have skipped this enlightenment and I joined the team for a ride. A couple hours to learn the controls and commander both my eyes. So okay, psychedelics. That makes sense for the who they are. Be quick, dear. Times are uncertain. 1 month crawling. Next year blurring. Decades in the drain. Monograms on the brain. Decide what's working and what's moved on. Okay. I understand this a lot more as I've aged. I would say once I reached 25 recently, I sort of really came to the realization about how fast time moves, and it didn't really feel that way beforehand. So yeah, recognizing this is in learning from life for sure. When the peels are down, it feels like traveling in style. Right. I understand this too. When you can get out of your head about the problems you're having in life, when you can sort of accept things better. And I'm certainly trying to feel that state of mind. It's hard. It's really hard not to live with other things occupying your brain. But shout out my therapist, bro. You have made that easier. Okay. You don't need wings to hover 40-ton stones for a mile. Right. Okay. I like that. And in the summer, virgin visions, mindless hum and numbers, can't decide if the day is supposed to smile. Today, find infinite ways. It could be plenty worse. It's a blessing, but it's also a curse. Right. Dude, this is what I do too, man. I am someone who does not, like, I have a privileged life and then I don't have a privileged life, right? Like, I recognize people around me have their families who can support them with things better than mine can, right? I just live with my mother who was like a homemaker for 2 decades, and then, you know, my dad is a crazy person. Now we have to figure shit out. She can't assist me with a lot of things, right? As opposed to in my life, I recognize, oh, your parents are giving you money for this, your parents are giving you money for that, and it's like, I'm giving money to my mom. She does help me nonetheless with what she can, but I don't know. And in many ways, I don't like that she has to help me. But anyways, what I'm trying to suggest, though, is that even when I'm thinking this way, I still think, yo, I have this fucking bed. I get to just chill here and listen to music and talk to you guys. And there's fucking children being bombed in Rafah right now. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, all my problems, in reality, do not fucking matter. Like, it's chill. Like, we're gonna be all right. In retrospect, right? Anyways, let's continue on. Okay, those days taught me everything I know. How to catch a feeling and when to let it go. Okay, how do all the scheming soulless creatures can't find dreamers honey in the hive if it's right behind beneath the nose, and when the light is new, the sky shows trembling cartoons. I agree with this. But yeah, we can't realize that all the possibilities of making our life better is like right there. It's always been right there, but we're trapped in a society that kind of fucking obscures that. Man, I like this song, man. Making me feel like I'm really being a fucking like topple like government. I love it. Okay, and when the light is new, the sky shows traveling cartoons. Reality appears frightening. Right. You don't need smoke to cover most of the world in the gloom, but here comes race number 7. Watch my figures ripping out of the lines. Okay. So, yeah, you know, reality, billions of people on this earth, we don't all come to this conclusion. You know, a lot of us will continue living life in our selfish, ignorant ways. And for all those fucking people, like maybe like Mgmt or like me who have, and again, I'm sure they have their human problems too, and I have my human problems. We can discuss all these things as much as we want, and then recognize that in some moments we can be a part of that problem. But anyways, what I am suggesting is, yeah, you know, it's a sad reality, but like, you know, even though we may know the truth about like what we can do to like make things better in this world, we're not going to do anything, right? There's people that we see being fucking terrible people, right? Being just absolutely selfish, narcissistic individuals, and guess what? You can't save them. There's nothing you can do, right? Like there's but discussing this on a grander scale of human consciousness, yeah. This song is quite good lyrically. It definitely does feel like it's like, okay, I took my acid trip. This is what I want to say. So beautiful. Let's go on to the next song.
Whenever I drift by the unknown, they like I notice a fundamental tone. Kind of like if a friend exits without a sign, glimmering like a precious, knowing that I was alone. Watching as it flows by, focus on the quiet oars.
This one's a fun one as well. Very odd psychedelic state to be in. Like, it's not trying to be as like catchy or, you know, blissful. It's very brooding. But it has this landscape to it. I can understand why critics didn't like this, maybe, but that I do feel like it's, you know, misunderstood. You know, they were expecting something and they didn't get that. And what I'm getting, at least from 2 songs in, is I'm like, this is cool. Like, this is putting me in a new state of mind, you know, like, okay. Let's get into this lyrically. Whenever I drift by the unknown, fiend like I notice a fundamental tone. The fine petals open and close, offended, poor explanation, nothing shown. What the fuck does that mean? Ah! Until it contradicts their ego knowledge. Right. Sure. Hey man, I've been victim to that myself. You know, I've had to grow up and recognize that things in my past, I didn't understand them the way I thought I did. Right? Yeah, okay. But I really like a lot of these lyrics though. Like, if, I don't know, you may be new to my channel though, you know, I'm a very spiritual person. I'm, you know, pay a lot of attention to the sort of spiritual knowledge and stuff, and stuff's not far off from like the stuff that people talk about when they take like LSD and shrooms. It's really not. And there is an awareness that in spirituality that our ego causes us a lot of harm. Okay. But we all have an ego, right? We can't just fucking throw that out the window. Kind of like if a friend exits without a sign, glimmering like a precious stone. Maybe we shared a dream for 20 nights in a row. I might feel better knowing that I was alone. Okay, so like you're willing to kind of abandon this person to find reality. Yeah, I feel you as well. Look, when it comes to psychic stuff and so forth, it's like, or these ways of thinking, that's like all an online community for me, right? In my, shout out my therapist once again, because when I had to discuss the psychic events that happened in my life, she's like, oh yeah, like, by the way, like, yeah, I'm like, I believe in all this shit and I'm gonna like give you advice in relation to this stuff. And I was like, damn, the universe set us up because I picked you at random. Anyways, yeah, and if you are discussing life in such a weird way like this, people do not want to hear it. You're gonna get clowned, you're gonna get made fun of, and I've been a part of that life. But I've also, like, that doesn't change how I feel though. You know what I mean? That's a part of the journey, is realizing that you could be kind of doing this alone, right? And that, again, that's how I feel about psychic stuff as well. And I've talked about this with other psychics online. They're like, yeah. And I have a lot of friends, you know what I mean? They don't really believe in that type of stuff, but they generally, it's all good, right? But I do recognize that how you understand the world can be very lonely, right? Okay, now let's see if I can actually figure out these lyrics that I don't know. Whenever scientists turn lead to birds, torment ignites essence, delights from the earth. What you find shocking, they find amusing. Something else to soften a sadistic urge. Okay, so discussing maybe like science, or like in this modern society, we do a lot of things to nature that is just fucked up. You know, things that are pure, delights from the earth. Yeah, what we're finding this shocking, they're finding amusing. Yeah. Okay. Genius. I need genius right now, man. I don't nearly do as much drugs as these guys, I think. When they tell you the extent of the vice, then the primetime mission is to choke the statistician. Oh, dude, this is so fucking true. Yeah, no, I've been there before too, right? But sometimes we have to recognize, and I'm very bad at this, you know what I mean? When I get put in a bad position with people, I have definitely been the person who has to be like, this is a reality. But you know what? You figuring out the answers, like, you'll see. You'll see who, you know, knows what's going on. Okay. And like the senses that you're lurking behind. Okay, so you're not following like intuition, not following this like reality. Oh, interested more. Okay. If you think that you're free, watching as it flies by, focus on the quiet oars. Dude, I say this shit. Someone said this to me recently at work, actually. They're like, yo, Riley, like, do you think, like, we live, like, in a democracy? Like, we live freely in a democracy? And I was like, no. We don't. We are not free. And yeah, we are bound by social constructs. Fuck yes. You are not really able to have the life that you really want. You have your choices set up for you. That's just like what I talk about, or, you know, when people talk about like politics, right? When who you get to vote for, there's an illusion of choice there. You don't really get this perfect candidate for you. It's this or that, really. We live in a two-party system here in North America. I'm from Canada. America's more of a two-party system. We have the NDP, which is like how we work here is when you vote, you get seats, right? So if people do vote for NDP, there is a certain amount of seats of people who will get to, you know, work on your behalf, but still. Tell me how far you'd go knowing your air won't last. Would you feel better holding the stars up? Like, how, will you accept this reality that you won't really get this freedom that you like think is real? What if the beast escapes? Apes have it good. Right. And separates like a cloud. Seeps into hollow bones. Wouldn't its eyes expand in zero in the lycoscope? I might feel better knowing I wasn't alone. Okay, so again, suggesting this idea that like humans as animals, like we really have it the worst. Like, look at all these amenities we have. That's great, but we also have like just things that just crush us down mentally that other animals don't have. Other animals get to live a lot more freely than we do. We are the most like imprisoned animals, I would really argue, and it's fucked. I might feel better. Okay, I might feel better knowing I wasn't alone, and knowing that I was alone. So now there's just this situation where, you know, being stuck in society and all its wrongs and how it affects you mentally, and really hoping that, you know, if this situation can be understood by others. And it can be, man. It can be. But at the end of the day, like, look, psychedelics have been around for a long time, too. And then you even have the Enlightenment period, like hundreds of years ago. And, you know, it's like, shit's changed, but you can't change everyone. And you're not changing the people who are mostly in power making these things, right? That's just like a reality. Anyways, yeah, I'm liking what I'm getting lyrically from this album, though. I will say. Let's continue on. Yeah, this one's really fun too. I'm loving the soundscape of all this. Like, I'm getting lost in it, not in the sense of like, oh, this is a song, here's this verse, here's this chorus. It's just around me, and it's really nice. I definitely enjoy that. Now, let's see what we can get into the lyrics. Guys, dude, It's been 30 minutes I've been recording, and I'm on the third song now. Like, there's a lot of fucking shit to say. You can't pay attention what slips into the system. Okay, about drugs. A light touch, a whisper that puts you to sleep. Okay, so it's only doing so much for you. Don't sympathize with the mystery disease. Okay, maybe discussing drugs, and then sort of the realization that, you know, it's not going to get rid of our existential dread in a way fully. We're not going to escape death through this. All it is a feeling. Okay. Pain and address to revealing. Okay, sort of about an addiction that's happening here. A lost bond, an old friend who likes what it sees. And the old friend, though, is the drugs. Okay. You can't shake off the mystery disease. And that mystery disease, though, is addiction. Okay. Lovers in a past life meet in the street close to midnight. A last look. Sweet like the end of a dream, then fall back into the mystery disease. So they're seeing this person that gave them happiness, but then falling back into the drug addiction. Go on, tell your symptoms to me. It's not in any of the books you can read. It's no fun to face what you don't get to be, but what's one more to the mystery disease? Floating impatience snuffs my limited sapience. Ah, yep. So they keep thinking about the drugs, they're not thinking about other things. Black smoke as soon as the pressure's released. Deep space sighs, the mystery disease. Consumed by a weakness cut with perpetual unrest. You see stars, sunsets blurred through a screen. Trap what you want, waste what you need. Again, I'm not much of a drug user. Well, other than marijuana. I used to be heavily addicted to marijuana, and I haven't smoked weed in like a year and a half now. And I am in a much better mental state. Again, I don't have a problem with people smoking weed or doing drugs. But I am aware when drugs can overtake you. And it is true for me that I understand this idea that when you're on the drugs, you think you can get what you want, but in reality, you're doing like the opposite, right? Like an addiction is very much so like self-sabotage in many ways, right? It's very contradictory, right? You're having a lot of fun. It feels good, but you're ignoring all the bad feelings. When the west wind sweeps through the leaves, emperors of history fall to their knees. They would all fall to their knees praying the disease wouldn't reach them. All right, so suggesting that other people don't want to get wrapped up in addiction either, maybe? Okay. Small fronds can't see the wood for the trees, left in the dust of the mystery disease. Not being able to see the bigger picture. Yeah, it's true. Even with me, man, like when I escaped out of my weed smoking days, right? And since it's been like a year and a half, I am well aware of the fact that I was missing a lot about reality, okay? That's a simple fact, right? Weed is such a delusional drug when you're on it all the time, right? Having it for a day, you're partying, dude, it's not going to affect your life in that way. Maybe it could. Everyone's different. But what I'm trying to suggest is that you really think you know things. And now that I'm escaped out of that, I recognize, you know, you didn't know things. You didn't know things. You were a smart person. You certainly had some understanding of things, but you were addicted to a drug, and that was sort of very much so obscuring you. Right? Okay. Let's continue on.
Glowing in the shadows, twisted in confusion, colors, thoughts, emotions are trapped within the heart, feeling no emotions. Introspection, what am I really like inside? Introspection, why of all the prophets' life there's a season. Striving for perfection. dying by the unloved. Introspection. What am I really like inside? Introspection. Why have all prophets lied? There's a season. Introspection. What am I really like inside? Introspection. Why have all prophets lied? There's a season.
Okay, so this song is a cover as it's set up there. I will be honest with y'all, I don't know who Fane Jade is. Okay? I ain't perfect. I don't know everything. Okay? But this song is definitely the one that sounds the most popular and has like that hook that is going into. So let's go in here. Glowing in the shadows, twisted in confusion, grazing in the meadows. I like that. Glowing in the shadows, so we're like in this world, space, and then twisted in confusion, discussing humans just living this life, just figuring out what the fuck it is. Like it's just this existential, like it's just fucked. And then grazing in the meadows, discussing animals who don't care about these things. And okay, yeah. Dude, spirituality, bro. Collective consciousness, bro. Okay, yeah, I like that. Voices in profusion, colors, thoughts, emotions are trapped within the heart, feeling no emotions, end without a start. Okay. Colors, thoughts, emotions are trapped within the heart. So there's things that we're feeling in the heart that like just can't really be defined. We can try our best. Like that's what life is really all about, is trying to define these things, but it's never going to be 100% accurate. Introspection, what am I really like inside? Introspection, why have all the prophets lied? Right. There's a season when I will find out where I am, and there's a reason, and I will someday find the plan. That's pretty straightforward, right? So just introspection, you know, we're looking inside ourselves, trying to understand the world, trying to understand our place in it, because this is a confusing mess. This song as a cover, it goes very much so like with all these other songs' meanings. But yeah, why have our prophets lied, right? Come on, man. Yeah, we've been lied to forever, bro. Like, well, even in ancient history, just fucking lie. Like the Crusades, you know? Oh, you guys want to go to heaven? Look, buy this. I got you, right? It's just all fucking bullshit. Right? And a lot of us ate it up. And I don't blame these people for eating it up. Right? Striving for perfection and hiding when it comes. Okay, yeah, okay. So that's striving, got like a double meaning, right? We try so hard to be perfect, and then when we are perfect, we get scared of it, right? We kind of self-sabotage a little bit, right? Right? But they're discussing too the fact that once they kind of became famous, it sort of was weird, and it wasn't even really what they entirely wanted. Seeing its reflection in the fire, it becomes turning the seasons, turning outside. Yeah, so. And then we're really getting this chorus, and then. Okay, yeah, I get the gist of this song. I like it. I like it. I like it.
Here's the deal. Open your eyes. Your life is a lie. Don't say a word. I'll tell you why. You're living a lie on your hands. Now look again. Then ask your friends. Hold your breath. Everyone left. No surprise. Living a lie. This is your wife. Now she knows. She understands. Her life is a lie. Nobody wins. Try not to cry. Lessons in life. Your life is a lie. Now there's no time. Not knowing that your life is a lie. Wondering why nobody writes. Hollow inside. Bitter delight.
Okay, we got this very quick 2-minute like garage-esque song talking about how our life is a lie, and it's very true, right? Everything is in a way this like delusion. Your life is a lie, but you deny you ever lied. Yeah, we just won't believe, right? Like, wondering why. Bury your life, count your friends. Yeah, we're looking for things that just aren't fucking real. you know, we're just looking for some external validation. On our hands. Now look again, they're not your friends. Hold your breath. Everyone left. No surprise. Live and lie. Tell your wife this is your life. Your life is a lie. This is your wife. Now she knows. She understands her life is a lie. Midlife epiphanies can result in divorce. Nobody wins. Try not to cry. You'll survive on your own. Yeah. Lessons in life. Your life is a lie. Now there's no time. Wondering why. Where in the world is that girl? He knows it's alright to live a life waiting to die. He knows it's alright to live a life waiting to die. Ooh. So, just like, you know, we're allowed to just accept that life can be purposeless and just, you know, keep doing it until it ends. Not knowing that your life is a lie, wondering why. Nobody writes hollow inside. Periods in light. Fire and ice. Your life is a lie. Your life is a lie. On your own, one more time. Your life is a lie. Yeah, and I think it's interesting discussing the situation of like his wife, this character's wife, and you know, why is this person giving you some sort of meaning or purpose? Right? Because that's a lie. But it also isn't a lie at the same time because you've decided for it to be the truth. What is a lie? You know, you can just, like, everything is a lie, okay, but you can decide to not make it that. I don't know. And the thing about that with the situation with his wife is I am someone who, you know, I love. I do. But I'm also aware that love is like a chemical reaction. Like it's something in your brain. It's not something that's based off of logic about the meaning of this world. You know what I mean? We as humans, sure, it's completely normal and natural for us to have romantic connections and so forth. But what is the purpose? What is the meaning? Right? That's, in many ways, it's just something we find pleasurable. Right? Why am I listening to this music? Why am I doing this reaction channel? I like doing this, but is it, you know, doing, like, at the end of the day, this purpose of it is meaningless at the same time, right? Humanity, we make our purpose. Like, that's just the way it goes, right? All of this, anything I have in my room, this fucking pamphlet to go see Bicycle Thieves, okay? Meaningless. Okay, let's continue on. Okay, fun one as well. I'm so lost in the lyrics that the sound of it I'm just kind of getting stuck in. Very odd. Sort of like a synth space to be put in. This one's called A Good Sadness, so okay. I can still hear the reflections in the air. Okay. Feeding time. Either hemisphere. If it's summer there. Seeking you. Taking a dive. Streets aligned. Ooh. Stored in my hand. Okay. All I could do not to steal all the fun in the world from your little heart. And now I owe it back to you. Okay. So I don't know. Because they broke up, I guess? I don't know. The band, I think. But it's hard to catch it and let it go. Find excuses to burn right through the grief and to melt, melt, melt. Right. You try to find excuses, but you're not able to. Oh, my poor memories. Down to a trace. Till you forget that I'm alive and you feel it's all right. Oh, I'm sure you'll be fine. Tune it out and I'm sure you'll be fine. Okay. So forget. You have to forget. That's hard to do, man. But I agree. In a way, I understand what you're saying. Doing well, finding an excuse, shutting down soon. No line, disprove. Meantime, desperate, confide, and rush. Disprove, meantime, and rush. Humans don't know boundaries. They'll destroy forests and other ecosystems, but they also invade each other's personal space, going so far as to harm them. So it's just like outro of all this, of this breakup and having to try to forget, and then it's just the situation here suggesting like, well, we're all fucked. You know, everything that we're doing is just, there's never going to be an answer, and it just sucks. Oh, fuck, man. But you got to accept that. I think having an acceptance of it is where everything is just going to be all right. Okay. This one I do think was the least interesting song on here. I wasn't fully stuck into this sound. Still a nice soundscape, but I was not fully sucked in. So let's continue on though with lyrics and see what that deal is. My green silken river and two lights, I could almost touch the free walls. Past clouded over bumbling eyes. Now peering out through a slinking cosmic smile, reverse completely flame currents first to surface. Flaming currents first. Wet purple gowns and blame alarms. What? Okay, peering out through, like, in this world. Reverse completely. Something has forced you to, like, wake up. To see reality, I guess. All for some milky perversion. The Milky Way galaxy, I guess. I don't know. The minute the mirror turned its back to me, my distinct conviction of keeping eternal. Okay. Right. So you're like lying to yourself again. As soon as we're like separated from this situation, and I'm assuming this is from drugs. Okay. For all I know, we're sleeping arranged like fate's vein, infantry stacked and unhappy for tomorrow. But yeah, blind and happy for tomorrow. So like stacked and unconscious opposition. So we're like really ignoring that we're aware, but then we ignore it and then we continue on. So it's just sort of this cognitive dissonance that sort of occurs in how we live life. Okay. Okay.
Who is much more than a friend, but never by my side. Maybe you will only ring 1 or 2 letters at the most. But cashiers won't deduct the pain. Loneliness sleeps on the couch. Let's go camping in the cold. Make a fire by a tent. Try to memorize your smell. It reminds me of a field. Birds don't cry when echoes quit. They trail off into the fall. Generations of defeat, all assuming you're the worst. Well, take your hand against my arm. If there's a finger I can grip, I come to terms with what I have, what's been given, what's been asked. In the red dirt, muddy town, celebration of the dawn.
Dude, what is going on? This is a weird song. It's hard to get stuck. Like, the instrumentation of this seems very, like, it's just fucking weird. And his delivery is just, like, it's just an odd song. Like, I can understand why people would be listening to this new Mgmt album in 2013 and be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? It's just, okay, let's get into the lyrics. Who is much more than a friend but never by my side? Yeah, I thought that was going to say death. All beginnings are an end. In the blackness, there's a light. So death is an end, but also a beginning. That's also something that we discussed in spirituality. Maybe you'll only read 1 or 2 letters at the most. Shipping crates might line the streets. Every stranger is a ghost. Right. We're all gonna die. Cashiers won't deduct the pain. Loneliness sleeps on the couch. Right. So, this character's very depressed. Only noticing the stain once the colors faded out. Only notice someone's downfalls when some time has passed the excitement of. Let's go camping in the cold. Make a fire. Buy a tent. Yeah. Envision leather getting old. Resend pensions that were sent. Okay, live in the future, live in the past. Try to memorize your smell. It reminds me of a field. Crickets clearer than a bell. Have all their guts recast in steel. Nature being science. Silence. Birds don't cry. Birds don't cry when echoes quit. They trail off into the fog. To his life, and that he shouldn't fear death or cry when echoes quit, and the end is here. Instead, he should trail off to the fog and search for a new beginning. Right. Don't think your life is over. Okay. Autumn hurts far less than sticks, knowing winter is 5 feet tall. All life's problems don't seem that big when you consider that we will all meet the same end. Yeah. That's good. Generations of defeat, all assuming you're the worst. They never tied the cans to the back end of a hearse. It's too short to dwell on the end, so live it. Yeah, so treat death like you would treat a marriage. You know, treat the celebration of life. That's good. Take your hand against my own if there's a finger I can grip. Reassure me at the ace. Mine's a black heart you could flip. Okay, so suggesting he's not a good person. We all are not good people in this world, really. We're all selfish fucking creatures, man. You know, I don't think there's a single person in this world that I couldn't really suggest hasn't done something that's fucking probably not good, right? But there's a spectrum to that. And at the end of the day, people do bad things. They have to come to terms with it themselves. I've come to terms with what I have, what's been given, what's been asked. Turn my back against the sea and beg the serpent for a dance. But in the red dirt, muddy town, celebrations of the dark, children waking hand in hand with the pygmies in Z Park. Right. So some cultures celebrate death. I can't touch you only once. You always leave me wanting more. So keep my feet within the house and stick my toes just past the door. I want to do these drugs to get closer to death, but not really. Let me know when I'm in love. Let me die when I'm in love. Okay, so he wants to die when he's at his happiest. I don't know why this reminds me of American Beauty. The movie American Beauty, you know, we're watching this guy, what's his name? I don't know, it starts with an L. Anyways, Kevin Spacey plays this guy going through a midlife crisis, hates his life, decides that he's going to change that, ends up obsessing over a 16-year-old girl, wanting to sleep with her, and in his pursuit of living life for himself, he does a lot of bad things. He gets a lot of good, but does a lot of bad things. Spoiler now. I'm going to spoil. So if you've already seen the movie, continue on, so forth. He is going to have sex with the 16-year-old girl. And then when he realizes that, when she's talking about having sex with lesbians, she's lying, she's actually a virgin. And he ends up treating her kindly and realizing that he was doing something wrong. This doesn't really excuse his behavior, but okay. And in that situation, after that happens, he looks at a picture of his family and sort of recognizes the happiness in that moment. You know what I mean? Like, he's sort of feeling a little bit outside of all the decisions he's made, realizing the good things that he had made. In reality, as much as he's been bad to his wife, as much as he's been bad to his daughter, and vice versa, he still loves them. He loves what he created. And that's the point when he dies, right? So that would maybe be a situation that this person would be discussing. Okay, let's continue on.
There's plenty of girls in the sea, and plenty of seeds in the lemon. The trick is to try to stay free, showing it's really no comfort to me. There's plenty of girls in the sea. There's plenty of girls in the sea. The lifeguard admits his whistle in hand, and it isn't the muscle, and it isn't the tan. No, it's whatever you want it to be. Yeah, there's plenty of girls in the sea. There's
Okay, that one's like a more of a pop track, and I'm certainly enjoying that one. Okay, there's plenty of girls in the sea and plenty of seeds in a lemon. Okay, and plenty of seeds in a lemon. So making this suggestion that is insignificant since there's so many lemons or plenty of seeds that are not good. Right. So if this is him discussing like a breakup or something like that happened, it's like, oh, there's plenty of people you can find. It's like, you know, all these people you're discussing you can find, like, there's got to be a lot of those that are just fucking shit options, okay? Like this, right? And that's fair assessment. I mean, I do think, you know, men sometimes can, and I've been victim of this, okay? I'm not going to say I'm some perfect person, but I've recognized my wrongs. Men can put women on pedestals. They are just humans like us. Okay? They're just humans like us. Okay? And I think a lot of men, just, again, I have a sociology degree alongside my film degree, so I've had to understand things in society. I think men get afraid of this situation about the fact that, okay, yeah, women can have their faults too. And it's like, oh, but like feminism, like, you know, like everyone hates men. It's like, dude, you have to recognize how much feminist theory like also discusses like bad like women. Like feminist theory has never been about that shit. When it comes to men, feminist theory more so is really just trying to discuss, like, how we understand it is the fact that, yes, patriarchy exists, and men control and domineer a lot of the social constructs in this world. Okay? Are we done with that? We can let go now. Men, for all the men in here, you can let go now. Okay? It's not easy, bro, but just recognize. All right? And hey, if you have your own shit to figure out as a man, you can figure that shit out too. Okay? The trick is to try to stay free when it's never that great to begin with. Okay, so just the suggestion that, you know, a girl or anything in that matter is going to fix your void. You know, these types of things are not this amazing thing that solves all problems. And that's true. Okay? The surgeon performs precise little cuts, but he's never perfect. He's thinking too much. Oh, and it's really no comfort to me. Okay, that didn't really help me. Is there another meaning for this? Oh, if you can try really hard to be perfect, but it's not going to be perfect. You know, your mind can be a problem with that. Okay. And what are we suggesting here? Just a suggestion here that, you know, we're not going to get everything we want just from having a partner. Yeah, it's true. As soon as you get yourself free, then somebody stops you from swimming. The lifeguard admits, his whistle in hand, that it isn't the muscle and it isn't the tan. No, it's whatever you want it to be. There's plenty of girls in the sea. So you can finally be free from these situations in your mind, but something could come back and fuck you up. I think that has a lot to do with more mental health things, you know, letting our mind take us away from these things, right? Okay. The passionate ranger will say with the brush, it's best to accept it and not make a fuss. Oh, just because the grass isn't green, yeah, there's plenty of girls in the sea. It's best to accept it and not make a fuss. I'll just because the grass isn't green, yeah, there's plenty of girls in the sea. Okay, so just because a person or people don't meet your expectations and is very far away from what you thought, it's better to stick up with what you have, even if it is not that good for you, or if you can have something or someone better. I don't think that is entirely true. This is according to my thoughts. Except the way girls are. Okay. I think that's not what I suggest. I think that's not what I think this lyric is about. It's best to accept it and not make a fuss. I think it's much more about the fact that like you have to accept that reality is not going to go your way. Passion, stay with the brush. He's painting. He's making art. That like his life is occurring, but you know what I've done. I have to accept what I've done and not make a fuss, or I have to accept what other right. And just because these things aren't perfect with other people, okay, there's going to be other situations like that. I don't know. And clowns in the village. The trick is to try to be free and tend to the void. Don't just fill it. A lot of the people you fall in love with will be clowns or funny mishaps. That's true. That's just life. You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Like, this stuff is very utterly complex when it comes to love and dealing with people who may not be that good of people, right? People can treat someone like shit and then not treat another person like shit. And how do you define that? Right? That person may treat this person like shit, end up with someone else, and things are not that bad. Right? Like, we are all going through this journey, making these stupid decisions. And, you know, hopefully at some point, maybe you'll figure it out. Or, you know, but... Right. But this... Okay. And not let this person tie you down. I agree. It's the thing about a relationship, and you know, when I had my relationship, I would have been very young. From ages 16 to 19 years old was the only time I had like a serious relationship. Everything else has been pretty minimal, but that doesn't bug me. Okay, especially it doesn't fully bug me. Well, it has bugged me, but I mean, the final outcome is, you know, I recognize, being such a philosophical person as I am, not to really attach meaning to this stuff as much, right? Life is about me. I have to figure things out for myself and learn how to love myself during this journey, right? And that doesn't really have to include someone else fully. But what I'm trying to suggest is, with my earlier relationship, you know, starting things out new, being at a young age, you know, I really did attach too much to this person when I should have attached more to myself. So I do think that this is like certainly good advice. You know, you're not living for someone else. You're living for yourself, and you can do that with them together. They also have their own life to live. That is very, very important. Okay. Bartek receipts from inside the vest. None of the best ones are ever the best. Okay. Joke about sex. The girls that are the best at sex aren't the best girls to get serious with. Again, these things are not black and white, right? Yeah, okay, a girl can be good at sex and not be a girl to get serious with. That's not true for every case. You know, every case with a girl, with a guy, they can't be defined, right? But I think the main thing that I'm picking up from this lyric is just that what you think is the best really isn't the best. Everyone in this world, definitely in relationship wise, is going to have their own problems, their own flaws, and they can work for others, they can not work for others. You know what I mean? Like, I recognize that I have my flaws. If I get into another relationship, there's going to be problems that I have. Some people that can work, right? You can work with someone with that, right? Or other people, we're not compatible. It's not going to work. Right? That's just a reality. No one in this world gets into a relationship and they're just fucking amazing. Right? It's not life. It's not life. But there is a fine line between kind of doing shitty things or not being the best person or being an abusive person. Those things are different. And I can have forgiveness for abusive people, but, you know, many things about abusive people is they often have things such as NPD, narcissistic personality disorder, and those are things that are quite often uncurable, okay? And that's when you have to sort of, and it's hard, I get it, it's hard, but that's when you have to sort of recognize escaping a situation like that. But just suggesting, things aren't really black and white in this, right? And everyone wants, you know, for men, or I mean, you know, even anyone who is attracted to women and wants to be with women, you know, we all have our different types of women, or people that we understand. This is the person for us, right? Like, it's just all different, right? It's not one size fits all, really, right? So, you know, such is life. Okay, let's get into this last song now. Finally, holy shit. I can't believe it. I've been recording for like a little bit over around an hour and a half, and that's, you know, longer than twice the half, or twice the length of this album, just by a little bit. Okay. This song we're ending off on, there's a little bit like more epicness to this one. I really like that one, to be honest. It's one of my favorite ones, I'd say. Okay, let's get into this lyrically. It can't stop now, the signs keep changing on me like a shimmering bell. Long waves enveloping me, my plastic mind so chewed and shrinking all the time. Right, so the world just keeps hitting you with things, and you just feel like you're getting pegged down. It's difficult to really understand what to do. Feels like whirling by morning after the night, and I can't get down. Right. If I don't feel right, polishing off the sand, lay by me and we'll road as gently as we can into the twilight. Okay, so people saying like, oh, we can't change the world, so we're just gonna give up as gently as we can. We're gonna erode as gently as we can in the twilight. But you know what? I agree with this. You know, we're not going to change the world. Let's look at all of human history. There's always going to be the bad stuff, and these people, us thinkers, us modern philosophical thinkers, you know, we're doomed to be fucking depressed. We are. I'm trying my best, you know, and I've certainly made my life better in the past little while, but it's never going to be 100% because there's just a reality of this world. Right? But I do like this idea, though, of us being together, though. Can we do that together? Us people who feel lost and trapped in modern society and, you know, we aren't able to contain ourselves? I don't know. Anyways, that's the album. I am going to be interested in re-listening to this because the sound is like, you don't get really lost. The sound is very much so like this backing that you get swirled into. It's not very much so this pop element like these other albums. And I don't mind that, though. Like, I think for the mood, for the tone of this lyrically, I think it can work. This is a dark album. This is a dark album, okay? It's something that's so deeply existential, so aware of the fact that life just sucks, right? And you're trying to make the most out of that. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it's got its nihilism, but it doesn't at the same time. Like, it really is discussing the fact that, you know, we can at least try to find the best that we can. Like, there is a reality here that, you know, we don't have to put a lot of pressure on ourselves in many ways. So finding a meaning, finding a way to find happiness in a world where why should happiness exist? Ooh. Okay, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 on first listen, because I really do think that as a conceptual project, Mgmt really sold it out of the park. Don't want to give it any higher until I really can get into the instrumentation of this. But yeah, I do think this is underrated. For critics to review this so lowly when this is packed with so much substance, I think is interesting, right? I wouldn't really rate an album very low if I felt it was able to make me think so much. So... okay, I'll be back, okay? This took a while to get through, but it was worth, okay? Okay, that's it. I gave a few more listens to Mgmt, the self-titled album by Mgmt. That's their third studio album out of the 5 that we have. And yeah, I do really like it. I do think that this is a very underrated album. Like, this being kind of considered a flop in their career is... it's a shame that people think that way. Look at this, though. I get it. This is not even close to some very commercial sound, right? This doesn't really have the melodies, right? It's weird. It's weird, but production on this is really nice. There's a lot of sounds to be had here, okay? Closing my eyes listening to this or just letting it take me, I am being taken on, like, a very odd trip. Yeah, throughout this, I think it's very nice. And a lot of the times, too, all the songs where, like, the drums really hit, oh, yeah, those are the songs that really, I think, sell for me the most. Yeah, but very noisy album, okay? And sells on its psychedelic front, okay? Lyrically, obviously, I do think that the lyrics are really important to my enjoyment of this album. But I will tell you... when I'm listening to this and it's not in the reaction, I'm not looking at the lyrics, I can't tell what this fucking guy is saying. I can't, right? With the instrumentation, he is so faded into it. It's so druggy. I am not getting a clear picture of that. And I'm not really worried about criticizing that, but I am well aware of the fact that what I'm gathering from him emotionally... it really sells for me. Yeah, I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10. I'm going to keep it at that 8 out of 10. And I don't really think you would get higher later on, but it's just, this is a very tight project, okay? I honestly do like this more than Loss of Life. Although I do think Loss of Life, the song Nothing Changes, maybe still reigns supreme for me. Anyways. If there's anything you want to see me react to, anything at all, you can put a comment down below, and thank you for watching. Peace.